Dungeon Crawler Network presents Tales of Tamriel.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I am Aggelos, here with my trusty Khajiit, Pinello. The little milk drinker is upstairs. You can hear him just going crazy as it is. And, oh my goodness, do we have a good show for you today. I'm excited. You should be too. And with me, as always, the man who dresses up as a desert courtesan on the weekends, Avi Optimal.
Hey everybody, hey chat room. It's nice to see we got a nice chat room flowing out nice and early, so hope you all enjoy some Thieves Guild discussion.
I remember the one time Krabby got killed by crabs. That is the leading comment in the chat room right now.
Oh, that was a good time. That was a good time.
Oh yeah.
It's like he says jerk.
Jerk. Well, chat room, thank you so much for showing up. As always, we got quite a few people out there right now, which is fantastic, and we really do appreciate it. A couple returning people, some of our DCN crew out there as well, so we got fun all over the place planned. But before we do, we need to have a talk. And that talk is about how you can support the Dungeon Crawler Network through our Patreon page on patreon.com/Dungeon Crawler Network. All the people who support us there are wonderful people, fantastic, help keep us the show going, help pay for all the network costs and all of that fun stuff, as well as allowing us to do a bunch of fun things in the meantime. As you can see, recently I've updated all of our streaming stuff, our overlays, things like that, and that's all thanks to supportive fans like you guys. If you can't support us financially and want to take a cat away from me, here's one right now you can have. I'll give her away. Yeah, because she's interrupting the show. You're interrupting the show. You can support us by leaving us a 5-star review on iTunes. That's always helpful. Checking out our site, dungeoncrawlernetwork.com, sharing out some of the other content. I know the guides we have there are very popular, and people like that. Subscribing to us on YouTube. Generally, just kind of getting our name out there is always helpful, and we appreciate every single thing you guys do. You guys rock. Someone in chat room's like, I'll take her. Mitchell, you can have her. All right. All right. Let's get into the show notes.
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. First off, this week, patch 2.2.10 dropped, which was an awesome incremental patch. And as soon as I pull up the notes, that addresses several gameplay issues, including battle spirit and that dreaded camouflaged hunter. Ooh. They've also made a number of fixes to content found in the Orsinium DLC pack, dungeons, quest, and more. Dungeons and group content. I know they fixed an issue with normal versions of bosses in White Gold Tower and Imperial City Prison, because they were occasionally granting less loot than intended when killed.
It's never good. More loot was always better.
JB Snow in chat. Hey, yeah, we actually have only one open slot right now on the show that we are... Seriously. I have someone who wants to take you. They can have you. Like, look, she's friendly. She's great. Look at that face. Look at that face. Ow. It's just because I'm packed she bit me. Oh, you Dominion lover. Stop it. Esteldian is actually away these past 2 weeks. His wife is coming home from the States, and they live in the UK. So he took 2 weeks off for that. And we're looking for a PvP co-host. So yeah, that's what we're currently looking for. All right, you can just sit here on the show. I don't care. Since she's going to fight if I don't let her, I might as well just give in. You just cannot win with her. All right. That's actually a good fix to have in here because we've done those at least the normal ones. You and Ark and myself did these. I think we 3-manned both of them.
That's right. I believe
but
so.
only on normal.
It's only on normal.
And those dungeons were difficult. They were like really difficult. So I would be upset if I wasn't getting the loot that I was required for killing those. Yeah.
Definitely agree.
Fixed a couple item sets. The Parabellum set, it fixed an issue with that was appearing to stack multiple times, potentially preventing you from receiving additional buffs and debuffs. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, I guess.
I believe that's something you get in the Maelstrom Arena, if I'm correct.
It's an Orsinium set. I'm not sure if it comes out of Maelstrom or not. I think you are right, because these seem to be all Maelstrom related. Maelstrom Arena 8, Igneous Cistern, the Infernal Destroyer Lava Tremor ability will now only strike once, even if all 3 lines make contact with you. Thank goodness, because that hurt. Yeah. And they fixed an issue with Battle Spirit health bonus that would not be modified to or increased by other health percentage increases. So that's the buff you gain when you enter Cyrodiil. I think it's a flat 5k health, because that's what I get. So
okay,
yeah,
I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I don't enter Cyrodiil too much, but
that's what it is, because they were talking about in one of the last patches it was busted, so like it wasn't applying at all, so they had to do a fix, but the fix wouldn't allow it to be tracked, so you couldn't see when it was actually applied. So you can now see it now, and it does apply correctly. For Dragon Knights, Fiery Grip, this ability and its morphs can no longer be reflected, and that's pretty awesome. Dual Wield fixed an issue where the second Dual Wield heavy attack was not able to critically hit. I dual wield, so that actually is pretty important to me. And finally, Camouflaged Hunter continued to fix additional issues where this ability could proc multiple times when hitting with dual wield heavy attack, even though dual wield couldn't crit. We will have this fully addressed in the future. So Camouflaged Hunter is still bugged, and that kind of sucks. I was in PvP the other day, and I got hit by it every 3 seconds, so...
Oh, really?
Yeah, like everyone and their mother uses it, apparently. And I'm sitting there with my Evil Hunter because I'm a PvE player, and Evil Hunter just works better for me.
Yeah, I was going to say, I still go Evil Hunter.
There's one more dungeon fix here, Blackheart Haven, which that you would only probably get on a normal pledge because there's not a vet mode of it. The Black Plague ability will now transform anyone wearing a costume into a skeleton as intended. So if you were wearing a costume before, it was broken. There's been several quest and zone fixes as well, so go and check all of that stuff out. One thing in particular that they fixed, that they added in this patch, which I thought was interesting, combat events that do not involve the player no longer have source unit IDs. Now, you might not think much about that, but it actually broke a bunch of DPS add-ons. There were many DPS like recount type add-ons that would actually show players and their abilities, and that broke all of it. Because there was a forum post early last week. There was a forum post early last week that was causing the issue, or someone posted about, you got to get rid of this cheating add-on, whatever it is. It's like there's no cheat add-on. As I throw things all over the place. Must hide chat. There we go.
Wow.
Back?
Yeah, that was very weird. I was watching ESO Live a little bit earlier, and all of a sudden the audio started playing again, but I don't have ESO Live anywhere playing on my computer. I got very confused.
No worries.
I had to exit out of all my notes, so getting those back up.
Well, it has been kind of controversial. I don't know if you've seen it, or do you listen to any other ESO podcast out there? Because I listen to pretty much all of them because I just do. because I like listening to the game. The guys over at, why am I drawing a blank? Oh my goodness. TESO Nation, thank you. TESO Nation had a very lengthy rant about this change because it did break multiple add-ons. And whether or not you are for or against add-ons, this one, I can see where some players, now this is, I'm speaking for some other players, not me, and this really only affects PC players, not console anyway. I like recount add-ons because they are helpful in hard content to find out, what's going wrong. And these add-ons before would allow you to actually look and go, oh, well, Aggelos, you suck because you're only doing heavy attacks and nothing else. That's why your DPS is like 3K. Maybe you should try adding a few other things into your rotation to try to help out a little bit. But now that's no longer the case. So I know the argument for and against this. Some people are for it because it supposedly removes the elitist attitude of people not being able to find out what you're doing and therefore shutting you down, like kicking you out of group because you're only doing 2K DPS.
Right.
But this really does hurt raid leaders and stuff, especially with a new trial right around the corner, the Jaws of
Lorcan.
Lorcage. Lorcage.
There we go. The Khajiit Lorcan.
The Khajiit Lorcan.
As I looked it up, that is what it means.
Seriously?
Yes.
No, my cat. He started biting my mic. It's like, are you serious? There are people who want you. Not me right now. I'm literally just going to hold you just like this. I don't care if you don't like it.
I'd take her, but I'd probably start sneezing.
Oh, well, she's a real pain in the bum right now. Aren't you? Aren't you a real pain in the bum? Yeah. Bite your face. So, that was some controversy. If you want to listen to the whole rant, go ahead and listen to that there. I've not used the particular add-on that they were mentioning. I always just use FTC, so I record my own DPS. But I've never used this one. But it's effectively broken now, so it doesn't really matter one way or the other.
Okay, yeah, I usually use FTC myself, even though I haven't been using that lately. So
I'm actually probably going to... I use it for scrolling combat text, which I'm probably going to remove anyway in the future, because it's actually find it strip FTC down in this next patch, because it's really useful in some cases. I mean, right now...
They're putting it in the regular game, too, right?
Yeah.
With Thieves Guild, I believe?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
Next patch gets it.
Next patch, yeah.
So, I don't see a purpose to have it any longer. Like, that part. Now, I still like the floating health bars, and I like the buff tracking. Until I get that stuff as part of the native game, then I'm going to use it. But I'll probably strip away the combat text and just let the game handle it. If the game can handle it, I'm going to let the game handle it. But otherwise, I'll just use the add-on. But yeah, what are your thoughts, Avi? Before I move on, specifically about the last one with the removal of the source unit IDs, whether or not you thought that was a good idea, bad idea. Chat room,
That I got thrown off pretty bad when that whole sound started happening, and I kind of missed half of that conversation. So.
Oh, okay. Well,
my apologies,
please.
Yeah, my bad. I'm a little lost. Apologies, listeners. That was a technical difficulty on my side.
No worries. I'll give a brief rundown. They added a thing that removed source IDs, meaning that there was an add-on that would track what you were doing. Like, you and I are in a group. I use heavy attack. It records my combat text going, Aggelos uses heavy attack, hits for X damage. Avi uses light attack, hits for X damage. And it would keep both of that. It would read both, okay? And it would give us our DPS going, Aggelos did 1,000 DPS.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Avi did 900.
That doesn't bother me too much. But like you said, I guess I can understand that for trial leaders and for the maxed out, the people who like the maxed out DPS and healing going on. And since we're having a new trial, that is kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
But personally, does not affect me too much.
Yeah, if you're not... Again, if you use these tools in the right way, they can be very useful. If you use them in a bad way, and I think that's where a lot of people go. They run across a few jerks, which, to be honest, you're not going to get away from, okay? Like, if you're doing a dungeon and you're wiping on a boss because you're not doing the DPS, and the one guy who's the elitist is doing, 30,000 DPS, he knows it's not him. So the shortcoming is coming from somebody else.
Right.
You know, they're going to figure it out. And it's not going to remove the ability for you to get kicked, because he'll probably be like, listen, he'll probably post his DPS, because it's still possible to post your own. So it'll probably come down to, I'm doing 30,000 DPS, we're still failing. There's a failure in one part, I wonder who it is, and it's going to point to you. So that's removing this, I feel, is not going to stop the elitism. It's not going to make it as easy. It's just going to be a bunch of...
They're still going to call them out. People will still just call them out on it instead of it being right in front of everybody's face. So. Yeah,
exactly. It's you know, they'll post their own DPS and go, okay, you know, even if you're in a trial group and everyone who does high DPS will post, because what do you have to be ashamed of? Exactly. And then those 3 people who aren't posting, you know, it's like, oh, yeah, they're going to point fingers. It's going to become a witch hunt, where before it was, we know who's the problem. Now it's just going to be, everyone's the problem. So, yeah. I don't see how this really helps one way or the other. I really don't, but
yeah.
It is what it is.
This is why I run dungeons with my friends.
There you go. Absolutely. Okay. They actually took down the servers during the week for a hotfix to fix overload, which is the unlimited power.
Unlimited power.
Yes, so that is now
fun ultimate. Makes me miss playing a sorcerer. I won't lie.
I don't miss playing a sorcerer. I have
not at all.
I don't like it. I don't know why. I don't get it.
You play a stamina sorcerer at all?
I do have a stamina sorcerer. She's okay, but nothing overly wonderful. I see the little Nordling. Are you coming down to hop on the show? Sweet. I do.
There we go. Let's see what he has to say about sorcerers.
All right. What do you think about sorcerers and the overload? No? What do you think? No? You want to reach for the mic? You're worse than the cat. Ah. There went Thais. Hey, buddy. How about we scoot back just an inch?
My Dark Brotherhood hoodie.
Dark Brotherhood hoodie. Yes, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Thais is on the show. In her Dark Brotherhood hoodie. Ah.
I figured it would be fitting.
Dark Brotherhood's coming soon.
Woohoo!
Hey. Not yet, though. Thieves Guild first. So, yeah, that was fixed, because it was apparently broken after one of the hot fixes. What? All right. So, let's go ahead and move on to the next little bit of news, which is the February Crown Store updates have hit. And the Song of the Night ensemble. So is Estelle of the North getting that?
You know, I think that's a little too much for her, but I really do like the mask.
A little too scantily clad?
Just a little bit, you know. It makes me feel like I need to make a red guard. But I like it, you know. I mean, they're going really heavy on the female costumes as of late. So
yeah, they've done like what? 6 or 7 of them so far?
Yeah, I think the latest male one they've released is the Nord Hero, which I just found out is 2,000 crowns. So I don't think I brought that up last time. That was kind of a shock. I jumped on ESO to go play with you guys earlier this week, and I bought it. And I bought it before I even looked at how many crowns it cost me.
And now you don't have any crowns for the rest of your ensembles.
Exactly. But I like the outfit, though.
He agrees with you. He grunted. So the little milk drinker thinks that the costume is too expensive. Don't you? As he stares at the screen, not know what's going on. I think I went on Twitter immediately and was like, what is going on with Like, I get the exclusivity feature of it. Okay, I get that. It's like 5 days, whatever it was. That's fine. And he's playing with his hands. 5 days on the thing, but 2,000 crowns. Like, I get it's the hero costume, and I mean, I'm not complaining to Zos because this is a good way for them to make money. It's a costume. I'm actually not complaining. I don't mind that it was in there. It's just, I thought it was just, it's making them money, but I feel like they would have sold more if they kept a little higher price, but not quite that high because single costumes, depending on what they are, roughly what, 400 or 500? I think it's 400.
700.
700 for some. The packs of like 3 are 700. when they have like the packs of 3. But I've
Oh,
never,
that's right. Okay.
yeah, I've never seen a costume, a singular costume that was 2,000 crowns. I would have thought it would have sold better in the 1,000 to 1.2k. I think that would have been more acceptable for a costume.
Yeah, I agree. And it's like you said earlier this week when we were talking, it's the same price as the Thieves Guild DLC, which is just it's kind of strange, you know? It's 2,000 crowns. You can either get this awesome outfit or you can get the Thieves Guild DLC. So
Well,
I thought that was kind of strange. I do see it more on the line of about 1,000 crowns to 1,200, but
I need to work out more for this boy. Face, I know you had a question, or we were talking about that. If you want to get garbed up to hide yourself, that's fine. Okay, because Thais actually is here, so she might as well say something as well.
Can I put my hoodie back on?
Put your hoodie back on.
Okay. I completely disagree with it being that expensive. There's no need for it to be that expensive. That's just ridiculous. Maybe 1,000, maybe 1,200.
And these are
no.
the Nord Hero, the ones from the cinematic trailer. That's why they're so
Okay, well then,
sought after.
then 1,000 is enough.
Yeah.
2,000?
Well, that's as much as the Thieves Guild DLC, which we found out is going to be 2,000 crowns
For an entire DLC.
for the entire DLC.
See, now that's okay. That to me is a reasonable price for an entire DLC.
Mr. Baldy.
Nope.
Yeah, I thought that was a little excessive, and I went on the social media feed and I was asking other people, and I know our buddy Arcaneer in the game was talking about how it just something about it didn't feel right. Like, you've seen it, I've seen it. I think we come to the conclusion it was the missing fur. Like,
there's no cape.
well, yeah.
Like, how is there no red cape? That was such an iconic part of the cinematic trailer, that red cape he was wearing. So, yeah, I thought that was a big thing. As soon as that got pointed out, I was like, oh, I don't like it as much anymore.
Well, someone has mentioned that the cape for both the Daggerfall guy and the High Elf had capes. They're not going to have capes when they come out because they don't do capes in this game for performance reasons.
Disappointing.
Yeah, I love capes.
And I'm guessing the Daggerfall one and the Aldmere Dominion one are also going to be about 2,000 crowns because it's kind of like a 3-pack, you know.
Yeah, they will.
You're only gonna get these 3 special cinematics ones, so they're probably all gonna go for about 2,000 crowns. Which, hey, the Daggerfall one, I guess that's okay, but I don't see anything special about the Dominion one, and that's not even being a Dominion hater. That's just.
Oh no, I agree. It's not.
Yeah.
It is
They've released other female clothing suits that are cooler than the Aldmere Dominion one.
Like all the dresses you're currently wearing.
Mm-hmm. my corset and big boots.
My big boots. Sitting there with your big boots.
Big boots. Big boots, big bear, and a baby Netch.
Speaking of Big Bear, that's an awesome segue, by the way. They are reskinning another one of the bear mounts, the Black Bear, which I'm excited about because we actually have a Black Bear near where I live. Like, the previous owner has seen it multiple times. I have yet to see it, but apparently he lives in the mountain behind my house. So I have a Black Bear, and I'm actually excited about that. I love bears. We did a stream the other day. He just does not want to stand. He just wants to sit, so he's just going to sit. All right.
Want to take him?
Oh, he's fine. He's fine for right now. Someone was asking me on the stream, what do you guys feel about them reskinning these things? And I mentioned that it didn't really bother me because all the games do it. Because it's very expensive to create the skeleton, to rig it in animation terms and things like that, create the animations from scratch. Yes, he disagrees with me. To create the animations from scratch and everything like that is very expensive. To put a new texture on something is cheap. So, comparatively, I mean, I'm not discounting the work the graphic artists are doing or anything like that. They work very hard. But comparatively, you already have the base structure. It's just easy to slap a new skin on it. And I mean, it's not like they're taking something and putting 90 different colors on it just for whatever. These are actually legit animals that look the same. Black bears, polar bears, you know. They exist in nature, so I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah, there's not too much difference between a black bear and a brown bear besides the color of its coat and maybe a little bit difference in the size. But,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
so just changing the color of it doesn't bother me at all. Even though I do love black bears and polar bears, so I'm happy to see this. My bear is a brown bear, and now they've released 2 more that I like so much more, and I'm like, oh, okay. I might have to go buy me another bear.
Gotta buy myself another bear.
Yep.
Now, this is going to be only available for a limited time between February 18th and 22nd, which is similar to what, you know, they generally do with these things. They do tend to bring them back after a time, though, so, you know, if you can't afford it now, I'm sure they'll bring it back at some point in the future. Following up with that, baby black bear pet. Oh, it's so cute. Again, this will go through the 18th through the 22nd again. So, yeah.
Next to the Netch, this is probably the baby bear was probably my favorite pet. All the special animations, the attacking the butterfly, as you can see in the picture. If you pull it up on if someone pulls it up on the Elder Scrolls website, it's a really cute little thing. I like the new animations and the new things that they're doing with the pets now.
Right. I'm actually going to pull this up on the screen because I think it's actually really cool. So I'm going to just do that real quick because it's awesome. There we go. I'm just going to expand it out just a little bit more.
Yeah, because if you've gotten some of the older pets, you know, they do kind of just stand around. You know, the dogs can get stuck under your feet and so forth. The new bears actually kind of walk around in circles and they'll jump up on their 2 feet and attack a butterfly, and you know, they have a lot more animations and a lot more things going on.
Humma?
Yeah, he agrees.
He does agree. Humma. Yes. So that's the baby black bear. He's in there now. So next up is the Sijic Domino Pig, which is pretty much the bristle gut but reskinned. I know you can't see right now. I'm going to turn this off. He's pulling on my cord.
It's a cute pig. I don't think I'd ever want a pig following me around, but I never got my hands on the other pig. I don't think the other pig hit the crown store, did it? It was going.
It didn't. No, it
okay,
didn't.
that's right. I remember I kept trying to get a code, and people kept giving them away on Twitch streams and all that, and I was never fortunate enough to get my hands on one of those pigs. So what can you do?
Huh? Bye, little milk drinker. Bye. Bye. Oh, he waved. He waved. You are so smart. You are so smart. Bye. Man, he's learning to wave. It's amazing. Next up is the Fiendroth, which kind of looks like a fire beetle. It's on the stream right now, so that is kind
of reminds me of the Dwemer spider, but a Daedric beetle.
Right.
Almost has that same shape. It looks cool.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I bought the Markarth bear dog, and he's awesome looking, and I love him. So he follows me around everywhere. So he's really, really cool. I really like him. Like, I don't know why. I just really, really like him.
Yeah, he's probably the coolest dog that's been put in this game for sure. You know, he's a bear dog, but he does have a very wolf-like. He looks very wolfish, and he's from Markarth, which is, you know, my favorite town in Skyrim. So
it definitely gets scary there, at least in Markarth. So you know,
good old Markarth.
Good old Markarth, right? Why is nothing ever working? Oh. No wonder.
That's where the river runs in blood and silver.
I like what you did there. I do. That's awesome. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to move into the next section, which is Thieves Guild launch video and more details. So I'm actually going to play the video right now. So just check into the center box here, and you should see it here in 2 seconds. As soon as I get the right thing going. There we go. All right.
Hi, I'm Rich Lambert, Creative Director at ZeniMax Online Studios. And I'm excited to reveal more about our third DLC game pack for The Elder Scrolls Online. So guilds have always been an integral part of the Elder Scrolls series. And with this DLC, we're introducing one of the favorites, the Thieves Guild. In Oblivion, you became the Grey Fox. In Skyrim, you join the Nightingales and progress through the ranks there. And in The Elder Scrolls Online, you get to help shape the future of the Thieves Guild. The Thieves Guild begins in the southernmost tip of Hammerfell, in a region known as Hughes Bane. You arrive in a free port called Abaz Landing. When you arrive there, you stumble upon a guild that's just in total disarray. Their last heist went horrifically wrong, and the guild is facing this dire fate, and it's up to you to save them from this moment. Thematically, the Thieves Guild is all about, sneak thievery, skulking in the shadows, stealing, pillaging, those kinds of things. And while you're progressing through the storyline, you're rebuilding the guild and restoring its honor. This DLC is all about thievery, and we really wanted to theme the new skills and the skill line to help make you a better thief. So you're going to be exploring Hughesbane, meeting new characters, sneaking along rooftops, stealing in the shadows, and recovering lost treasures. In addition to the main story, playing the Thieves Guild goes beyond Hughesbane by introducing quests all across Tamriel. These quests leverage the justice system and the outlaw refuges you know and love. It all ties together and makes it a really good time to be a thief. The new group content is exciting because it's the first time we've been able to take all of the lessons learned from previous trials, add that with all of the lessons learned in the new dungeons we've built, and put them together to come up with some really cool, really engaging encounters. We're bringing awesome new items to ESO, and you're going to be able to earn those through various activities. Daily heists, participating in the trial, completing quests, and of course there's going to be tons of new items in the Crown Store. But this is only the beginning. We'll be going into a lot more detail soon on social media and on the ESO website, so stay tuned.
Well, there we go.
Awesome.
Yeah, that looked pretty sweet, not gonna lie. If you're not watching us live on YouTube here, or watching it afterwards on YouTube, we just showed the video with Rich Lambert, creative director, as he went over gave us a brief summary of the Thieves Guild. And we also got a launch date for that too, which is March 7th, I believe it is, correct?
Yeah, March 7th, 2016. For the Xbox, it's March 22nd, and the PS4 is March 23rd.
Okay, all right. Yeah, oh my goodness, I'm so excited.
The video is very awesome. It's awesome that we're going to get to kind of see the beginning makings of the Thieves Guild, and it's kind of a failing Thieves Guild, kind of like it was in Skyrim during the Fourth Era. So it's kind of like the Fourth Era, it was kind of destroyed. In the beginning, it was destroyed, so it was more of a popular living thing, more in the middle, Third Era. And I'm excited to see how we rebuild it and how it ends up being. They show a lot of cool traps and the cool places that we're going to get to go and see, which I thought made me excited, and more use for the outlaw refugees, which I think is really cool, because all these outlaw refugees are beautiful in the way they look. You go in them, but there's really not much to do. There's two fences, one guy selling stuff that you could find anywhere across Tamriel. So I hope they really add a lot more stuff that we can do in the outlaw refugees. So
I actually just had to look this up because I was trying to remember, because at the time of this, all the guilds are very new. Like, I know when the game first came out, there was a lot of speculation on whether or not the guilds even existed at this point in time, because it was the Guilds Act, which was an imperial legislation, which was actually passed by, and this is what I had to look up just 2 seconds ago because I wasn't really sure who passed it, but it was the potentate, Verdessu Shea, which was the previous interim between the fall of the Raymond dynasty and the rise of Tiber Septim, as well as it was the assassination of this potentate, an Akaviri potentate, that caused the interregnum, which is the period we're in now. But guilds were not actually legalized up until this point. So these things didn't I wasn't sure if they would even exist at the time. That's why when the game was first released, people were asking, like, what are we going to do about the Mages Guild? What are we going to do about all these different things? Do they even exist?
I know the Mages Guild existed because Vanis Galarian formed it. And but the Thieves Guild was the biggest one talked about. I know the Dark Brotherhood, I feel like, was just starting, if I'm correct. But during the thing that you're talking about, the treaty, they actually didn't get accepted as a guild.
Yeah,
because of
what they were. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the Guild Act became an official legislation in Second Era, year 321. We are year 352, I think.
Okay.
So we're only like 30 years ahead of when this actually passed. And actually, we're only a couple years ahead of when the potentate, Verdessu Shea, was actually killed by a Morag Tong, I believe. So I had to check on this because I wasn't really sure like how they were going to do some of these things. I know, for one, the Mages College in Winterhold isn't created at that point. Like, I think it's still being built at this time. So
I believe it comes around in the next 20 or so years, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Very, very soon.
Very soon.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go ahead and let's talk about this a little bit. First off, let's go ahead and talk about the price details for anyone who is curious about this. Just like all the other DLCs, Thieves Guild comes in 2 parts, the DLC game back and the base game. So base game is for everybody, DLC is afterwards. DLC is always available with an ESO Plus subscription. If you're not an ESO Plus member, which I don't know why you wouldn't be, Thieves Guild is 2,000 crowns.
Right.
Which is
good price. I
think it's the cheapest DLC they've done. No, Imperial City was 2,000, or was it 2.5?
Good question.
I'm always an ESO Plus subscriber, so I never buy them.
Yeah, same here. I've never had to buy one besides Orsinium, which I believe was 3,000.
Orsinium was 3,000, but they had a special, but they actually have a collector's edition bundle, which is available in the Crown store. Just like they did with Orsinium, which I actually like that they do this. The Thieves Guild Collector's Edition has 5 Crown Experience Scrolls, the pack itself, the camel mount, the Hammerfell camel mount, and the Kindle Spit Dragon Frog for 4,000 crowns.
Camel mount.
Camel.
I still think it's hilarious thinking of a camel running at full speed. I saw the little pet on ESO Live, and the pet looks amazing.
Yeah,
and it's really cool.
I'll probably get him. I think he's cute.
Kind of hops around. They say they have a lot of flying creatures that attack you in the new Thieves Guild DLC area. So that's pretty cool. I like that.
I'd believe it. I'd believe it. So we
could run away on our camels.
Right. Oh my. I'm excited. I'm just super excited for it. So.
4,000 crowns is pretty good because I'm guessing the camel's probably going to go for about as much as a bear, and the pet somewhere between probably one of the more expensive pets. So I'm guessing maybe 500.
It's a good deal. It really is. If you're looking to get it, it's a very good deal because, like you said, the mount will probably go somewhere in the 1,200 crown range. That's just what I'm expecting. That's what I'm expecting. Somewhere 1,200 to 2,000. I can't expect more than that because it's not. It's a camel. It's not one of the Senshi tigers. It's not a bear.
Exactly.
It's a camel. the pet will probably be 400 to 700, and then you got your extra 1,000 from the crowns. I mean, if you buy each one separately, you're probably spending like 7,000 or so. So it's a deal. So.
And the experience scrolls are very helpful. Use the experience scrolls while you're leveling up and questing through this new zone because, hey, the faster you get your character to VR 16, the more champion points you're going to be given to you when it gets removed during the Dark Brotherhood. So,
right?
Yeah.
All right. So this is all taking place in the southern peninsula of Hammerfell called Hughes Bane. Home of Abba's Landing, which we had talked about in previous episodes. Like, we weren't sure exactly where Abba's Landing came into this because we've seen it, but we've not seen Hughes Bane.
Yeah, it's the major city in Hughes Bane. And according to ESO Live, it is one of the only cities in Hughes Bane.
Well, I believe that because I was watching ESO Live, and I'm not going to get on the community for one thing, but a lot of the remarks about the community was like, wow, the zone's actually rather small. From the look of it, it's only slightly bigger than the starting islands, like Bleak Rock, Canarthy's Roost, things like that. It's not very big because it's just the peninsula part. It's not very big. Oh. But we kind of knew that before. They said Orsinium would be... The Thieves Guild was going to be more indicative of all the patches going forward. Orsinium they had worked on prior to the buy-to-play conversion. Like, they'd been working on it for a long time. So it was naturally bigger. When they switched to the 3-month cadence with the buy-to-play, the DLCs will get smaller, and this is more indicative of what we'll see in the future. Dark Brotherhood will probably be of similar size.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
It's all right with me, and also this new DLC is getting spreaded out through all of the old areas that we've been to. So,
and that's I'm glad you talked about that because that's one thing that I know. You can bring a lot. You don't have to add a lot into the game. I mean, there's still a lot of Tamriel left to it for us to explore, but you don't have to give huge swaths at a time. Just give us reasons to go back to old zones, because this is Tamriel. I love Tamriel. That's why I'm here, right? Like, I want a reason to go back to Mournhold besides to pick up the quest. I want a reason to go back to
the Rift besides crafting.
Yeah, like the only zones I actually go to in the Ebonheart Pact anymore is Deshaun to go to Mournhold to get my pledges, and the Rift whenever I have to craft a new Hunding's Rage piece or something like that, because that's what I do the most of. And even like the Law of Julianos is now in Wrothgar, so my Magicka build, I go there. So I think I go to Shadowfen for the Magus set, but I hate Shadowfen. I don't really want to go back there. But
yeah, I want to go back to Eastmarch. I miss Windhelm. So let's get me back to Windhelm, guys.
And
do some heist.
And with the heist. All I'm thinking about is when they were making fun of Fast and Furious on Family Guy or American Dad. I can't remember which one it was. And they're like heist, and their arm wrestling, and their muscles are popping out. That's all I'm thinking about. That's originally was in my head, and I went with a different title for the episode. But I was going to go heist, but no one would have got it, I don't think. Yeah. But yeah, this is. I'm glad that it's not just going to be in Abba's Landing and Hughes Bane. It's going to start there, but we're going to have reasons to go out and utilize the old content of the outlaw refugees. 2 different words there.
Which I'm guessing they're going to do with the Dark Brotherhood too, with assassinations.
Yeah, I would imagine that completely. Like, we'll be going all over Tamriel to do the assassination quest. And we're going to talk more about some of those other things like that they portray there. I'm just going to head down the list here, and we'll talk about those other things. But I'm excited for Heist. They look sick. They look really sick. You saw them on ESO Live, didn't you?
I haven't.
Oh,
I told you I only got halfway through, and then we had to start the episode. So it's still going to be a surprise to me.
Oh,
I've only heard good things though on Twitter though. I've only heard good things.
Oh, dude, I don't even play sneaky characters, and I think it's freaking awesome. Like,
Your reaction makes me very excited.
oh, dude, it looks like fun gameplay. I'm not gonna lie, and I don't even play Thieves.
Good. That's what I want, something you can do with a friend, you can do by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this game needs more of. So
we'll talk about it, and I wish I had time to look for it, but I would need to because I would love to play the video again. But we'll get to that. Challenging new 12-player trial, the Mall of Lorcage from the Khajiit. I'm excited because this is the first ESO trial in a long time, but it's also the first trial that has both a normal and a veteran mode. Okay?
That's true. Leaderboards as well.
There's a couple things I want to talk about this, and this is actually really neat. And I think it's gonna separate. I honestly believe that this is going to separate out PvP and PvE players by a good bit. It all depends on how these bonuses work out, but normal mode can be done, I think, almost like from level 10 to VR 16. Like, it can be done at any level, and it scales to the group. Veteran mode, I believe, is only VR 1 to VR 16, with VR 16 being the only one that counts for leaderboards acceptable.
Does it scale to the group leader?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, be group leader.
Okay.
But it's apparently insanely difficult. Grants powerful new items and item sets obtainable through the trial or through the weekly trial leaderboard. The reason why I wanted to mention this is because some of these sets they're neat how they work. They have different set bonuses that are fairly unique. One, their 5-set bonus is actually based off of group play, such as gaining a damage boost when you use a synergy. Okay?
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah. And they also have a 3-set bonus that gives a flat damage percent. I think when they talked on ESO Live, it was 5% to bosses. That includes world bosses, dungeon bosses, trial bosses.
That's amazing.
I know, right?
That is amazing.
Yeah, like in these sets.
I'm gonna have multiple sets I'm holding now, man. This is great.
I honestly think with these flat bonuses, at least in the PvE side of things, it's probably gonna push sets like Hunding's Rage and like the meta sets that are currently being used out the window, because if it's a flat 5% damage bonus to bosses, who wouldn't want that? And it's like a proccable, like anytime you use a synergy, you gain like, I don't know, another 5 or 10% damage bonus for several seconds.
Oh yeah, unless you're just questing by yourself.
Well, yeah,
definitely.
All these sets would work in a group. That's what they're designed to be for groups. So yeah, you wouldn't wear this set while you're out playing by yourself or whatever like that, or solo questing. But it's meant to be done in groups. Dungeons, maybe if you're running a delve with a friend, world bosses in Wrothgar, because they're doing world bosses in Hughes Bane. Similarly, they're going to be difficult. They're not just going to be you can push them over, and of course trials.
Yeah, I'm overly excited for this. That's perfect. That's just what this game needs. So.
Oh yeah, no, I'm so excited to get my hands on these during the PTS to try to test them, and checking out like all the guys on Tamriel Foundry and seeing what they're saying. It's going to be neat. It's going to be really neat. Of course, they added a new passive skill line that's exclusive to the Thieves Guild. Here's something that's interesting. This is the first time a skill line has been locked behind a DLC.
Right, which is why I said last time that's why I believe it's all passives.
It is all passives. But one thing that's kind of interesting is if you're an ESO Plus, you didn't buy it, and you gain the skill line, and then you stop your ESO Plus but don't buy it, you don't actually lose the skill. You just can't advance it any further.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so you haven't lost progress, you just can't advance, and you can utilize what you've already done, you just can't advance it past where it's at.
So if you advance it all the way and then you get rid of the DLC, you still have all of your progress.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And we'll go over more of this in the future, but most of the passives here are just things like one of them is like I like being able to have a guard, clemency, I think it is what it's called. A guard will let you go like once every day or something like that. Like they'll just be like, yeah, just get out of here kind of deal.
Yeah, like a persuasion passive.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, and they go on to say there's new story content, as well as they're emphasizing revisiting previous areas of Tamriel, which is I'm completely for. New larceny system that includes repeatable activities such as heist,
Yeah.
pickpocketing, stealing, and more. Guild job quest will be available in the Thieves Guild, and the neat part about all this stuff is they'll include you doing, just like in Skyrim when you did the Thieves Guild, you could get those Radiant quests to earn extra money that would have you go out and pickpocket, unlocking safe boxes, all those different things, like forging ledgers and things like that. All that's going to be available, all right? Then, of course, we got Heist Quest, which is awesome because let me just read the description of what a heist is. Thieves Guild heist requires sneaking, avoiding traps, and getting in and out of special instanced heist areas with your prize. Earn special bonuses for completing heists undetected and within the time limit. So there's a time limit, but the neat thing is like it's kind of like I'm trying to think of a game. Have you ever played Thief? The game Thief, like long ago? Okay.
No, I haven't.
This is a pure stealth game, okay? Like, I don't know if there's going to be ways for you to actually get in, but there are games like that encourage that type of stealth gameplay. Not like modern games like Assassin's Creed. Like, in Assassin's Creed, they always gave you multiple ways to complete the objective. You could go super stealthy, you could go in guns a-blazing, whatever you needed to do, right? These things have to be done stealthily. It's kind of like a Metal Gear Solid kind of deal, like the early Metal Gear Solid, where you couldn't be detected or you fail.
Okay.
But in some of the videos, it's so cool because like you're running around, like they were showing one like you're going through a sewer, and there's these people who walk around and they have an ability called clairvoyance, and it's a big blue circle around them. Okay, so you can see where that's their detection field, right? And you have to avoid it. So you are parkouring off walls, hiding in stuff, and in one scene they were like, you use the environment to hide because they were in a narrow hallway. There was nowhere for the whole circle encompassed the entire hallway. You would have been detected. So the guy runs over behind barrels and jumps inside a basket and pulls the lid down over top of his head to hide as the guy passes by.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. That is amazing.
I told you you'd be excited,
That
man.
is amazing.
I'm sure there's probably similar things like these stealth games. This is built as a stealth activity. So you'll be hiding in baskets and probably using non-combat type stuff. I'm assuming there will be some, maybe like a synergy, like you can sneak up behind a guard and knock them out because you can't kill them because, hey, they can't be found. But those type of activities require you to go in, steal something, and get out undetected.
This is awesome.
So it's like completely stealth gameplay. So if you are a stealth lover who likes to, who likes to actually play the game and be like a stealthy type character, this is for you.
This is for all the Khajiit lovers out here. Yes.
Khajiit is innocent of this crime.
Khajiits like to sneak.
Right. And then, of course, there's reacquisition quests for you to steal things back, as well as killing group bosses and delves to complete those. So it's kind of like one of those things where they're going to use quests to go out and kill delves going, hey, so-and-so in X delve stole something from us. Go steal it back. So you got to go kill them, get it back. It's standard kill quest. But, still cool.
Cool. Yeah, definitely.
2 new delves, Bara's Gloom and Shark Teeth Grotto, featuring all new challenges and awards. 2 new formable world bosses. As you can tell, the zone's much smaller. It only has 2 delves, 2 world bosses. And we already talked about powerful new gear, unique crafting styles, and other rewards inspired by the Thieves Guild. 4 item sets that grant unique group-based PvE bonuses available in the Mall of Lorcage, and as weekly trial leaderboards. There's 1 heavy, 1 medium, and 2 light sets available. So, it's probably 1 tank set in heavy, 1 melee DPS set in leather or medium, and then a healer and a caster DPS set.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that's why there's 2. 2 of the sets are available in Hughesbane, and there's 3 new craftable sets. So that's exciting.
Very cool.
They're releasing the Outlaw crafting style. I don't know what that is, but hey, that's awesome.
The outlaw crafting style, maybe more of just like the original Thieves Guild style armor. I know they said that they're giving a costume as soon as you join the Thieves Guild that looks very similar to the costume that you get in like Skyrim and Oblivion, sort of. The dark brown with the dark brown leather style, which is pretty awesome.
Right. Yeah, no, I've seen like they even in the videos of ESO Live, they were running around in a costume that you apparently get.
Just for joining.
Just for joining, yeah, that you can run around. So it's just a costume, more or less, but that's still cool.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it.
A free costume that's not in the Crown Store.
Yeah, right?
I approve.
Oh, I agree. I approve of this as well. I like when things are available in the game, not through your wallet. Like, I mean, yeah, I know that's how they support, but it'd be nice if they did a mixture of the both. I can support this. I like it. This is actually kind of interesting. They're adding assistants, non-combat followers that you can summon to provide a service. Yeah, like you'll actually, during the quest, you'll be able to get assistance. Like if you stole something, they use this as an example. You stole something that you don't want to lose. Okay, like I don't know, just you can actually summon one of these guys and they'll run to you and you can sell it to them for a fee. So there's
it's like a fence on the run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, except they take a little bigger of a cut.
Yeah, I think I don't know, 35% or something like that. I can't remember.
Something like that.
Yeah. But even so, it's a neat feature to have. And another item that they're actually dropping that you can actually get from quests and things like that is a consumable item that actually removes gold bounty. So, like, they showed 2, a blue one that you can consume to remove 500 gold from your bounty, and like a purple one that removed like 2,000 gold. So if you get caught, you can use it and it removes your bounty for you.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
So that's pretty much the Thieves Guild in a nutshell. Pretty much what we got right there. The Thieves Guild base game patch, of course, has a 64-bit client now, which I'm excited about. Improvements to grouping, including incentives, and the ability to queue up via the group finder with friends and guild members, regardless of alliance.
Yay!
I'm really excited about that. Now we'll actually get to run with most of the people who run in the Dungeon Crawler Network Guild. So, hey, that's always exciting.
Definitely. We just did a little event a couple days ago, and there were some people who are a little bit left out because they couldn't jump in and join us. So doing group ones and dungeons, which is actually going to be pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I cannot wait. I hope it actually goes over towards trials too. I don't know if it will, but I really hope it does.
Be nice.
It would be very nice. Because I know one of our Patreon supporters, Single Malt, was asking that. Like, does this go over towards trials? I'm like, as soon as it's in the PTS, I'm going to try to find out, because that'd be great to know. But, yeah, I hope so. They're inducing scrolling combat text, which is pretty important. Not really. If you like it, it's great. I like it. A lot of MMO players like it. Console players will now finally get it because they don't have access to add-ons.
It's very good for console players.
Exactly. More improvements to combat gameplay and Cyrodiil and all of its campaigns. The thing we talked about before, access to any of the Alliance content when you reach Veteran Rank 1, so it's no longer split out to Silver and Gold. It might still be Silver and Gold, but you no longer have to go Silver to Gold. You can go Gold to Silver, however you want. Again, more prioritization of animations during combat. I really want to see how this affects animation canceling.
It's going to be interesting to test in the PTS.
Yeah, this is one of the first things I'm hopping on and looking at because I know they said it's not going to affect, but I don't know how it couldn't. Like, the whole idea of animation canceling is to get rid of the wait time of an animation. Like, so you go through it. But when they're prioritizing, meaning that you're not going to be able to interrupt it, at least for the main part that does the damage, how is that going to work?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like, I'm fine if they remove animation canceling. I mean, they're going to have to probably do a little bit of rebalance across the board because it's only possible to hit those really high numbers with animation canceling. So some of these dungeons might be impossible to beat going forward with that amount, but we'll have to wait and see. But as soon as this was posting, I know a bunch of people were like, are you getting rid of animation? And they're like, no, it's still there. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Improved facial animations for Mac if you're still playing on a Mac. I don't even know anyone who owns a Mac other than people who actually do graphic design. So, yeah, congrats if you're playing on a Mac, I guess. 6 new item sets that will be available in the Alliance War leaderboards and rewards of the Worthy Males. So that's always exciting. 6 new crafting styles. 3 new Alliance motifs found in chest in Cyrodiil and the Imperial City. So guess who's going to be out in Delves like crazy? This guy.
I'll join you for some of those.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind getting some.
The Malakath set received from Orsinium daily world bosses. So a reason to go back and continue doing Orsinium daily world bosses. The Soul Shriven set, which will be completed for Cadwell's Silver Quest, automatically granted those who already have the quest completed. So, yay.
Yeah.
And the Trinimax set, which is also received from Orsinium dailies. I think the Malakath and Trinimax sets were drop sets in Orsinium. So now they're going.
So, like, if you found like Trinimax Valor, that's one of the sets that I'm looking for that drops from the. I believe you get it from prizes from completing the dailies.
Right.
They come in special styles. So very cool.
Right. I remember that one. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, that's about it. So, and of course it's going to come on the PTS apparently
next week,
but not Monday or Tuesday. They said not Monday or Tuesday. Not Monday or Tuesday. Yeah. So there you go. That is the ESO Live. Everything we learned about Thieves Guild. Guys, it's time for Tales.
Yay,
Avi.
Tales.
Avi,
I
what?
actually have a little bit.
All right.
Yeah, because you guys got me back in the game.
Good.
When you did your live stream, and I had a lot of fun. I joined the Wings of Fate Guild, and we went and killed some world bosses in Orsinium.
Mm-hmm.
Had Krabby there, we had Ark there, you were there.
Mm-hmm.
Who else was there? There's a few other people
There
there.
were like 6 or 7 of us, I think.
Yeah, we had a nice group.
Neravar Tervani from
Neravar Telvani.
the Elder Scrolls Off the Record Guild was there.
My old guild master from ESOTU Meridia.
Yeah.
So it's very cool.
Oh, absolutely. It's
I can't exactly remember the 3 bosses we ran. We killed the ogre.
We did the Dolmen.
The Dolmen.
We did the Mad Ogre, and we did the the one Dwemer Nizzle. I don't know. I can never pronounce Dwemer.
The Dwemer one.
The Dwemer one.
The Dwemer one.
Yeah.
Hey, and it was a lot of fun. I also bought the Nord outfit, and I think we had me, you, and Krabby all running around in it for a little bit. So
yeah, we did.
That was pretty cool. You know, we were all representing the Ebonheart pack. So.
Well, what else would we be doing?
Yeah, of course. and like I said earlier, you know, I bought it. I saw it. I went, yes, I bought it. And then all of a sudden, I think it was Krabby. It was like, yeah, 2,000 crowns. And I was like, hold on. I just spent 2,000 crowns? So I was like, whoa. I did not even notice that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a little shocking, but it's really cool. The helmet is one of a kind. So all they need to do is add the capes. And I think that'd make it tops.
I'd be pretty excited for capes, period, because I love capes.
Me too.
So.
Hey, cloaks are one of Skyrim's most downloaded mods. Or add-ons. Just throw that out there right now. You know, people love cloaks, so I'm all about them.
As much as I would love it, I know they won't because they're having so many issues with Cyrodiil, and it would cause one more thing to load.
It's understandable.
I don't know why they see. This is something where I'm always like, why don't you just, when you enter Cyrodiil, remove it? You know what I mean? Not like remove the cloak, but just remove the thing. Like you can go in, and when you're in Cyrodiil, it automatically removes everyone's cloaks.
Or even if they just added cloaks for these 3 costumes that are coming out, because, you know, make them worth the 2,000.
Yeah,
2,000 crowns.
I mean, for performance-wise, just don't render them on Cyrodiil. Cyrodiil's its own instance. You could just not render it in Cyrodiil. So when you zone into Cyrodiil, your cloak is, I mean, you're wearing it, but it doesn't render, so it's not causing any issues. I don't know why they don't do that. I know they're
too much work, I guess.
I don't know. I would love it.
Yeah, me too. That's really been my week though in Elder Scrolls Online. You know, besides that, I kind of got wrapped up in The Witcher thanks to you and Wicked Wolf and all of you guys.
Yeah,
that's what's playing it too. So now I'm out of the Dragon Age world and into the Witcher world, and waiting for that tax return to come so I can go buy me a new computer. And
well, at least you get to do something fun
Online.
With your tax return, like a new computer. I got to put a roof on my house, so
yeah, I'm still fortunate enough to be able to enjoy those while it lasts.
Yeah, so. I got to be an adult with mine.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, my new house got me good internet. I'm excited. And I mean, I'm in my little den right now. I got my little stove.
Yeah.
I got my wood paneling, which I don't like, and I got to rip out and put drywall on. But
I'd love to go get a new house or, hey, even a nice new apartment or something. But thanks to good old California, where everything costs, you got to sell your soul to buy something.
Yeah, right.
No thanks.
I hear you.
I'll wait till I move.
Yeah. Well,
how about you? What have you been up to?
I've actually played a little bit more than I had. Like, I've been getting back into it fairly heavily when I have time. So in the evenings and early mornings, because I want to spend time with my son, which he was down here on the episode, which you guys probably saw. I should put him in here somewhere, like the little milk drinker, and just turn it on for when he's here.
That'd be cool.
I actually think I'm going to do that little milk drinker next time. That way, like, it's my camera, but it's down on one of the other windows, like, focused on him. I'm going to do that. Just thought about it now. I'm like, I could just make him officially in here. Just turn it on when he's here. But I leveled my Khajiit Dragon Knight to level 42. So I got 8 more levels to veteran rank. And I think most of it, I really should probably do that this week. It's just I haven't been playing her, and I'll get to why I haven't been playing her because I've been focusing on something else. But I got her level 42. I'm almost out of quest in well, I guess I'm not. But when I was playing her, I was always playing her during streams, and it was too much. Like, some of the quests actually required me to think. And thinking's not a problem, but trying to run the show and figure out the quests at the same time was just like, nah, I just need to smack stuff. That's why I'm doing it.
No, I've been there. When I started streaming on Twitch those couple times, and I had people come in, I was like, I'm really trying to enjoy these quests, but you know what? I can't do that right now. Let's just go run some delves and
Yeah, let's
kill
do
some world
something a little
bosses.
easier than this. I
Yeah.
just smack things in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of left her off there, and I don't think I'm done with Orsinium. Like, I haven't advanced I'm on the part where you have to convince the clans. I haven't been following the story. I've just been clicking through it because I don't want to ruin it for myself for when I go through it on my main, which is where I'll sit down and actually listen and do everything. But I'm on that part. I just don't remember where I was left off, but I know I've cleared almost all the outlier quest. So I'm nearing that point where it's like, well, now it's either do this or go back to the old zones. But I actually
Where is she at? Where is she at right now in regular content?
well at 40. Well, the thing is, I think I left her off in Shadowfen.
Ugh.
I believe it's Shadowfen, or maybe it's Eastmarch. But the thing is, I was in Eastmarch. I think I'm in Eastmarch, and then Wrothgar came out, and I was like, well, why not? And I gained like 6 levels in Wrothgar just doing that stuff. So I don't know where the split happened. Like, I don't know where. See, I'm so far. I don't remember where she is in the other zones. So it's like,
Yeah.
but I actually haven't done any of the Fighters Guild or Mages Guild or main story. So I actually think I might just see if I can get the remaining 8 levels from those.
That's a good idea.
I don't know how many quests is that. You get one like every 5 levels.
What? Yeah, one. I think they have one for every zone, so
There's 5 zones.
5 zones.
The 10 quests, 15 quests. It'll be 15 quests. That probably wouldn't be enough for 8 levels.
You know, Estelle hasn't even done the Thieves Guild or Fighters Guild, or not Thieves Guild, the Mages Guild or Fighters Guild yet.
Yeah.
She's VR16.
Well,
I better get on that.
get those rewards then.
Oh yeah. Oh, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of I don't know. Like, I was gonna do those. I was thinking about that, but I'm like, it's probably not gonna get me enough to get to the net, to 50. And the problem is, if you don't do, like, you're kind of stuck doing everything. I think. Well, at least you are in silver before you can move on. I actually think I could just do the Rift, and it would port me over to Cold Harbor. But the Rift ends at 42. So I'm already, like, all the quests are gray there, right? I'm not going to get much experience. I'll be spending a lot of time there for no benefit. Really. I guess the skill points or whatnot, but I'm not...
Yeah, all you have to do is get to Cold Harbor. Because once you get to Cold Harbor, then you just got to finish up the main quest, and then you'll get put into silver.
I'm not even worried about getting to silver. I'm just worried about getting to veteran rank. So that way she's, ready to roll at that point.
Yeah, I'm just saying because Cold Harbor has the more higher level stuff, so you might get more experience there.
It might almost be easier just to run circles and delves in Cyrodiil. Go to like Quick Water or something like that and just run the gauntlet.
Probably.
Because you can run the gauntlet and hit 2 bosses, 2 world bosses or delve bosses, and then lots of mobs along the way. And it's constant because it's a big enough delve that you can make the rounds and the bosses will be up by the time you jump back down.
How much experience do those Wrothgar dailies give? Do you know? Pretty good?
It's
Decent?
nothing to write home about, but it's not bad.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like, oh my goodness, I gained half a level. It's a standard quest.
'Cause, I mean, we knocked out 3 of those in an hour, plus all the killing of everything we had to do, too. That probably wasn't too bad of experience if you were on one of your lower level characters.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not bad. It's definitely not bad. But, I don't know. That's where I am with her. But I haven't really been playing her too much because I've been focusing on my main. I've been doing a lot of Cyrodiil. And by a lot of Cyrodiil, I mean the past 2 nights it's been nothing but Cyrodiil because I've been trying to get caltrops.
Oh, that's a good old caltrops.
Yeah,
That's
because my DPS is, like I said, somewhere in the 12 to 14K. And caltrops apparently is 4K DPS just by itself, so maybe that's where I'm missing to get up near that 20 range, because I just don't have it. But I live streamed some gameplay the other week or the other day. I just posted on Twitter what would people want me to see, and it was overwhelmingly Elder Scrolls Online. I think I had Elder Scrolls Online on there, The Witcher 3, Darkest
Shadow of
Dungeon
Mordor
and Shadow of Mordor. Yeah.
Right.
It was overwhelmingly, like, there were like 30 votes and it was like 80% ESO. So I was like, sweet. All right. Had a lot of people watching, which was really cool. But I had some really good conversations that night with Sword and Keyboard and KT Gaming. They were both there, so I want to give a shout out to those guys, keeping me company the entire time. I believe I talked KT into actually buying the game because he wasn't sure about it, so he was asking me all these questions. So that was exciting. Sword and Keyboard, great guy, just chatting with me the entire time. It was a lot of fun. Then, of course, we streamed the Wrothgar night, which was really cool because we actually had, again, a good number of people in chat. And one of the people in there, Wilbur, I can't remember the number now, in the chat, who was asking us questions. And since we were all in TeamSpeak and it went through the stream, I was just asking what he was asking in chat to everyone we were running with to see what they were going to say. And, of course, Mitchell, who's in chat right now. Hey, Mitchell. He's been doing pretty much every time I go live, he's like on his cellular device just to watch. So I really appreciate that. So a lot of people have been watching me stream since I've been here. It's been really cool. Like, it's just been really cool to be able to, and everyone who comes on chats, it's a good time. But I finally got to see the lag in Cyrodiil, and it's pretty bad. Like,
bad, huh?
I know it's always been bad, but I don't really play Cyrodiil that often. And before I was on my DSL connection, so I was pretty much bad lag anywhere. But now I have like 150 meg down. Like, I have good internet now. My ping is never that high. I think in the biggest cities, it's at like at 100, which is what was considered a super good day for me when I was at my house, because I was sitting anywhere between 150 and 300. That was average. But when I'm out and about, like outside of a town where there's lots of people, it goes down to like 30 milliseconds. Cyrodiil was 300 to 500 at all times. And it's just like,
right.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, I mean, I know people complained about the lag before, but I've not really experienced it until playing on Azure Star at 10 o'clock at night on a Saturday it was so bad.
Cyrodiil's nice for me, and it always seems all nice and pretty until somebody runs into my screen view. A handful of guys run in, all of a sudden everything's getting all choppy, and I'm like, oh no, I just let go of my keyboard and my mouse, and I go, well, go ahead and kill me, guys.
Just make it quick.
I can't run, I can't do anything.
Right.
And flag. Yeah, it's pretty awful.
Yeah, it is bad. So I really do feel bad for PvP players right now, because it was not enjoyable, and I wasn't really enjoying myself anyway, because my build is not set for PvP. Oh, and that reminds me, I actually also wanted to give a special shout out to Joel. He sent me an email like I requested last week for a PvP build. Sent me one that he thought I could use. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for sending that to me. I actually am going to try it out and see what I can do. I think I need to play with my attributes a little bit, because I was even saying on the stream my attributes are all set up for PvE, so it's very low health, because you're going for the ultimate damage here. If you're doing PvE right, you're not taking damage. You only need about 18 to 20k health, depending. Maybe in the newer stuff it's like 20k to survive some of the unavoidable attacks. But if you're doing everything right, you're not getting hit, right? So you want to focus as much damage as possible. So when I'm in Cyrodiil with the Battle Spirit, I'm only getting like 25k health. I feel like everyone else is sitting at like 35 and 40k. Like, the health pools are so much higher on other people than on me, because I'm so focused on damage, not so much survivability.
Yeah, definitely.
So I go down really fast because I have half the health of what these other people have, it feels like. I don't know for sure, but I'm sure PvP players would tell me, yeah, your health is low for this type of gameplay. And I know it is, because I die way too quick. So if I'm running with a group, it's okay as long as I'm not focused. And I mean, really, I'm in there to farm some alliance points to get caltrops and vigor, because I want both of those for when I start doing my vet maelstrom, because I think both of those will help a lot. I'm still rocking the build with why am I drawing a blank here, Avi? Help me out. The only ability they use in PvP, Wrecking Blow. As I'm swinging.
Okay, that's what you're talking about.
Wrecking Blow, which I feel like I'm doing a lot of damage, but I'm really missing the AoE cone from biting jabs. I feel that pretty heavily. But I need to farm a few more skill points, and then then I'll have my full bow and my dual wield bar, so I should be okay. Like, that's the idea. Two-handed bow and dual wield have all three, so that way I can, for fights where I need a bow, I'll have a bow. But if I can avoid it, then dual wield. Maybe where I go for AoE and two-handed for solo. So that's probably what I'm going to do. I just need to get like an additional 10 skill points would probably do it. 15 to be safe, but which I mean I'm only in Canarthy's Root, which is the other part of what I've done. Last night I got to play with Ace for a few hours, and we got to play in Canarthy's Roost. I love the Mailbag, the Sea Elves. They're awesome.
Canarthy's Roost is pretty awesome. How far did you get in the story in that?
I'm up to the town of Mistral. Now, I kind of went, you know how the island kind of does this, like almost like a heart shape?
Yeah.
We went up if you're looking at it from the bottom, we went up the left side, so we did the one, or we went up the beach and saved all the Marines and stopped the Mailbag from summoning a hurricane.
Right.
Would you stop it? Stop biting my mic. Mwah! Kiss her on the face. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, take that. Kiss you on the face. Yeah. Kiss attack.
Well, if you're just getting the Mistral over that town is, you probably don't know too much about, or you probably know decent about the main story that happens there, but man, one of my favorite quests in the game.
Really?
Easily.
Have
Have you met the Green Lady?
I have met the Green Lady and the Sylvanar.
Can you say anything about them that's happening? I don't want to spoil anything for you, so I don't want to.
Let me. We went up. We also did the quest that cured the great tree from the Quama that were underneath.
Yes.
Okay, so we did that. Now we're in Mistrum. We literally just met the one of the noblemen outside, and he was complaining about the Sylvanar wanting to stop it, Khajiit, to do a treaty, or wanting to resolve this treaty with the Malamir and the people of Canarthy's Roost, and neither side wants to give the treaty. So that's where we're at. You go to both of them, they say no, screw you, and then they send us off to a tavern of some type, and that's where we left off last night. So we're not that far.
It's about to get really good.
Okay, because
it's about to get good.
I talked to everyone in the town, so I'm walking around talking to her. I met the Green Lady. She seems kind of like a bitch.
Dude, I love her.
You do? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I think she's awesome. Oh, the AD story is really good. I can't lie. You know, as much as I dislike the Dominion, man, the story is so good. All the way through. I mean, what you're seeing right now carries out all the way through the end zone.
Well, the people kind of, it's the same thing with Ebonheart Pact. The people you meet on Bleak Rock, face it, the one lady, the Earth Turner lady, Ayla.
Earth Turner, yeah.
Yeah. Turns out to be like dark. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who's not played it, but you meet her at the beginning, something happens to her, and throughout the story you keep seeing her, you keep seeing cryptic messages that you don't really know what they're about, and by the end you're like, oh my. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. Mitchell in chat, how good is the bow? To be honest, if I can get away as a stamina with dual wield, I'll get away with a stamina dual wield with flying bow or flying dagger. Because flying dagger hits like a truck. Like, it really does. Hits like a truck. The hardest thing with dual wield for range is you're not getting light attacks in if you're standing at range the entire time. So you're losing out on ultimate gain, so you're effectively losing DPS doing that. But it's not bad for short burst. I really only picked up the bow again because I started having enough skill points, and I wanted a way of being able to do those fights that don't play well in range, such as Veteran, City of Ash, the World on Fire thing, where you have to like kill the guy after reading the Frigid Tome or whatever it is. There's one point where you pretty much have to stay ranged, and I'm not doing enough DPS with just Flying Dagger because I'm not building ultimate or anything like that. And because I'm not Magicka, Blazing Shards only do so much damage because I'm not spec'd into the right champion point constellation. There's a lot of different factors that, because I have to be at range for more than just a split second, like running between stuff, that it just doesn't work. So now I have 3. I don't really like the bow. Some people use it pretty well and feel like they get good damage, but I just don't think it competes with everything else. That's why so few builds actually use a bow, except for in PvP, perhaps. But that's about it.
Yeah, I never used the bow. Always go daggers.
Dagger, yeah. I'm running Great Sword and 2 daggers. That's my primary build. And that's what works for me.
I believe that's what Avi the Optimist has. I haven't played Stamina in so long. It's been a good while for me. It's ever since I switched to Magic. So
yeah, it's the bow for me is honestly just for those fights that you can't get away without it. Dagger is, and it just works. Like, you can't beat Steel Tornado in terms of AoE, so it's
definitely not.
Quick Cloak, Flying Dagger, like you can't. The AoE is just too good, and that's kind of what I use daggers for. One final note before we end this week is, while you're in Canarthi's Roost, one of the funniest things, it's just an NPC. She's standing by a cage. It's a Khajiit female standing by a cage. I was cracking up. She's up there talking about, "You come see the most hideous creature you've ever seen. Stare at its cold, wet nose and feel the dread of 1,000 darkness upon thy soul. All the way from the darkest reaches of Glenumbra, the dreaded dog." And there's just like a dog in a cage.
He's just standing there like, what?
And all the Khajiit that are like, oh! It just cracks me up.
Hilarious.
It's that little flavor stuff that's really neat to see. She goes on and on about how dreaded this creature is from the bowels of hell. It's just this like dog sitting in a cage. Like, yeah, what's up?
One of those little things that makes the world feel so alive, you know, because it's like, all the way in Elsewhere, they don't really have dogs, so they only hear about it, read about it in books, and you know, they have to kind of believe what they hear. So yeah, that's a really funny little thing that they added in the game. I really like that.
Yeah, I do too. Well, Avi, I think that's kind of the end of our show. That's everything.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah. If you have any final thoughts where people can follow you, things like that?
Yeah, of course. You can find me on, on the Twitter, on the video games. No, you can find me on ESO at Avi Optimal, AVIOPTIMAL. Also on the PlayStation Network, on Twitter, pretty much anywhere on the internet you can find me. You know, it was a very great episode. I'm way too stoked for the heist and for Thieves Guild as a whole. There's going to be so much more content coming to this game that's right up my alley. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to the future of ESO for sure.
Absolutely. Anywhere, like Twitter, all those fun places in game.
Yeah, everything's at Avi Optimal, AVIOPTIMAL. You know, I don't get too confusing for people. So
there you go. Keep it simple, right?
Yeah.
Right. All right. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Aggelos, AGGELOS_WOF. You can follow me in-game at Aggelos on the North American Mega server, because that's where I play on the PC side of things, because that's what I like to do, because I'm a PC player. You can, of course, follow the show on Twitter at Tales of Tamriel, or the whole network at Dungeon Crawl Net. Follow us on our website, dungeoncrawlernetwork.com, where we've got podcasts, guides for ESO, all sorts of stuff. There's a comic strip on there, lots of fun stuff. Check it out, dungeoncrawlernetwork.com, and of course, youtube.com/Dungeon Crawler Network. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Tales of Tamriel, and we really hope to see you next week. Have a good night, everybody.
A serpent lights the ancient sky, a thread of tainted stars. Evil stirs, and in its wake the souls of mortals sway. And sorrow reigns over fields of red, and spirits pace through the shadows cast by their graves. These are days and nights of venom and blood. Heroes will rise as the anchors fall. Brave the strong, reclaim every soul that belongs to the beauty of dawn. Darkness strikes to blind the strong, but faith will guide our swords. Loyal hearts will stand as one and fight with shields of hope. Pride fuels the deadly fire that devours our tower of gold. The drums of war will rage and roar till the sun burns bright once more. These are days and nights of venom and blood. Heroes will rise as the anchors fall. Brave the strong, reclaim every soul that belongs to the beauty of dawn.